Come on. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with this channel or are watching this channel for the very first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense is because on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we're trying to find logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that we're currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And now we already have a comment. Okay. Just give me, okay, and it says, oh, this is the virginity topic. I'll be cloud watching this one for sure. Well, first of all, thank you for your comment. Now, first of all, I just want to apologize regarding yesterday's stream regarding the audio. Um, Unfortunately, I have been having difficulties with my internet service. So that's why I keep jumping in and out. But as always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have subscribed to my channel. I also want to give a huge shout out to those who watch me on a regular basis and who allow me to enter in your devices. I really appreciate all the love and support that all of you have given me. Now, I'm going to ask that if you have not done so, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to either watch it live or watch it on the playback. In a few minutes, I will drop the link to anyone who wishes to join the panel. Also, anyone, if they wish, they can add a comment in the chat. Now, due to the nature of tonight's topic, I'm going to ask that anyone that's under the age of 21, please don't watch this. And I see we have the presence of James Maps. Good evening, sir. How are you doing today? Thank you very much for stopping by. Also, as always, I would appreciate everyone be respectable, okay? And what I'm not going to permit is anyone to show any type of inappropriate parts of the anatomy, if you catch my drift, because what will happen is you will be immediately removed. Now, before we get into the topic, we're going to have another discussion on what the heck this is. Okay. Now, tonight's recipient of the What the Heck It Is reward is none other than my internet provider, Optimal Cable. Now, you're probably wondering, why are they getting this dubious honor? Because these are the people that has been providing me with internet service. And let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. The internet service has been very bad. There have been numerous times when I have to keep refreshing the server. There have been times when I had trouble to end my streams. There have been times when I have been removed from the platform. There's also been times when Guest has been removed from the platform, not of my own doing. So I am in the process of trying to get that issue resolved. And I just want to, again, I apologize for the internet service or the poor quality. And I just want to thank you for all the patience that you show me trying to deal with my struggle with horrible internet. But I'm going to ask a favor from everyone who joins the panel and everyone who gets in the chat. I have been the butt of many people's jokes regarding the Wi-Fi. What I'm going to ask is, please stop. Okay, I get it. My Wi-Fi stinks. My internet service is horrible. My speed is crap. I get it. I get it. But by you constantly making sport out of it, it doesn't help the situation. And again, I've been dealing with this situation for 6 months. So I am trying to do my best to make sure to resolve this issue because you, my audience, have a right to get the best quality of service that I can provide. And I just want to apologize in regards to the internet service. So going forward, I'm going to ask that please, no more jokes about the Wi-Fi. Okay? Let's go forward. Now, that being said, I just want to say right now there are 3 people that's currently watching this stream. And I just want to say thank you very much. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into the main topic. Okay. Now, as you can see by the thumbnail, the topic for tonight is how you lost your virginity. Now, before we get into the discussion, I need to lay down some rules of engagement, so to speak. Okay? Number 1, no one is to feel obligated to share on their experiences regarding how they lost their sexuality, how their virginity. And I see we have the presence of K-Fit. Good evening, K-Fit. How are you doing tonight? Okay. So that's the first thing. Okay. Number 2. Sometimes, a person's first experience regarding sexual activity could be a little bit embarrassing. It could be kind of uncomfortable. So let's try to be a little bit more understanding, okay? Because for most of us, it's awkward. Number 3, let's try not to ridicule each other, okay? I don't mind humor, okay? I don't mind jokes, okay? But let's keep it, let's be mindful that for some people, it's not easy to share their first time they have their sexual encounter. And I see we have, yes. So in coming up with a topic, I wanted to share a topic where people, if they feel brave enough, will share their experiences. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is 2 things. First of all, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. I see right now there's currently 6 people viewing this stream. And I just want to say to all of you, thank you very much. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, okay, first of all, the link is there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to share with you, I'm going to read to you an article that I saw on 17 magazine, and it is dated November 18th, 2021. Yes, you know what, James, I understand that, and I appreciate your comment. Like I said before, James, um, no one is obligated to share in regarding their first time sexual experience. You know, if people want to share, that's fine. If people don't want to share, that's okay too. I'm going to be sharing my first time. So therefore, hopefully some people will feel a little bit more comfortable. Now, let me just share with you the article. Your first time having sex can be super uncomfortable, a lot of fun, really awful, or all of the above. There is no right or wrong way to have sex. Sometimes it's hard to define what even counts as sex. No matter what you have seen in movies or heard about from your friends, though, there are things no one tells you about sex, like how you might feel afterwards or the pain you might have during. There are so many different reactions you can have, both emotional and physical, to having sex for the first time, or which are completely normal. As long as you use protection and you're 100% sure that you're ready, you're in a good place. To even more prepared, though, keep reading and find out that no one tells you about losing your virginity. Now, we're going to discuss what is virginity. Okay. Of course, we're going to define what is a virgin. A virgin is someone who never had sex, but sex has many meanings for different people. It's not really that simple. Most people think that losing their virginity entails penis to vaginal intercourse. And of course, James said, yeah, me and my wife have a little girl. So, yeah, well, I'm happy to hear you. I'm happy to hear that, James. But that's not always the case. For those who aren't cisgender or straight, the definition of losing their virginity may be oral or anal sex, among other things. The truth is, there isn't a universal definition for virginity. And I see here we have the presence of Danny. Good evening. Oh, one thing I completely forgot. Anybody who's new on the who should join the panel that's new, I'm gonna ask them to please camp up in the backstage. You don't have to camp up when you get on the panel, but I need you to camp up in the backstage so I make sure that you do not flash anything that's inappropriate. Because I am not about to have this channel taken down because of someone's stupidity. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about the first thing. You should think about, oops, sorry. Okay. Just give me a moment. Okay. This is the first thing you should think about if you think about engaging in intercourse. And we have the presence of the 18th letter. Good evening, sir. I just want to let everybody know that the 18th letter and James Math have YouTube platforms. So if you have not done so, please give them a look and subscribe to the channels. Okay, so there's this thing called doctor-patient confidentiality, which means whatever you tell your doctor stays within the walls of the examination. If you're thinking of having sex or already started, you want to start talking to your doctor about it. I know it's going to feel weird to talk to an adult about sex, but trust me, they hear about sex and vaginas all day, every day, so nothing will be a shock to them. Take advantage of this opportunity, ask all the questions you've been wondering about. Okay. Now, this is the second fact to consider. You can change your mind at any point on the night at. And I see here we have the presence of my sister Iris. Good evening. I hope that you're doing okay, sis. Thank you very much for stopping by. Okay, so now we're going to go into the second fact or consideration. Let's set the scene. You're personally kissing your significant other, and you both decided that tonight is the night. But all of a sudden, you think, I don't really want to do this right now. That's 1,000,000,000% okay. You have every single right to let your partner know that people change their minds all kinds. Okay. Yes, Iris, I'm okay. I am just doing my show. Thank you very much, though. And we have a comment from Saint. Shout out to all the movie Underground because it's a good movie. Okay, thank you. Like craving a burger, but actually realizing you want nuggets. So why would that be any different for something as intimate as having sex for the first time? If you're not down, then it's not happening, and that's totally cool. Okay. Number three, third thing to consider. No one actually cares if you're still a virgin. Yes, it might seem like all anyone talks about is sex, like your friends are doing it, and the plot, like 8 million movies, involves losing it. But trust us, you're not the last untouched human on earth, not even close. It only feels that way sometimes because virginity matters more to you than it does to anyone else. And that is an excellent reason to wait for the positive experience you deserve for mutual deep feels and next level respect. The person won't care about how much you're hooked up. They just want to be psyched up to share it with you. And good evening, Good evening, Danny. Okay. Now, number 4. Okay, number 4. Losing your virginity doesn't exactly mean what you think it means. Okay. And right now we have 7 people, viewing this. Maybe you got this initial equation. Penis into vagina, virginity lost. But what if you're into girls, not guys? Does that mean that you are an eternal virgin? Of course not. Other activities like oral sex can be even more intimate than sexual intercourse, and also this carry the risk of STD, says Chris Godwin, a sex educator and author of Making Sexual Decisions. Anytime you are intimate with someone, it's going to impact you, so don't put too much technicality of just one act, and instead losing it as a progression. Then you'll be prepared to handle all the big responsibilities. Am I being safe? And crazy complex emotions. Did he or she really just see me totally naked? And that will come with every step. Okay, so let me just put the chat again. Like I said before, anyone at any point, can just give me a moment. Okay. Now, here's an interesting thing to consider. Your cherry doesn't pop. Seriously. I know it's a super popular myth, but it is false. The hymen consists of a thin folds of stretchy tissue that are just inside the vaginal opening, explained Michelle Horrechis, Associate Director of Youth Education and Training at Planned Parenthood, Los Angeles. It may tear or it might stretch the first time you have sex, causing some discomfort or a little bleeding, but it's not something you can break or disappear once you have sex. Chances are you already tore a bit on a bike or on the balance beam of just being an active human being. And BD, because your hymen is just a part of your body. It has nothing to do whether or not you are a virgin. Okay. Number 6, but it could hurt a little. Before you freak, let us explain. To prep for sex, we're mostly talking about penis vaginal intercourse here. Your body needs to warm up phase of kissing, touching, etc. That's when the guy gets his erection and also when the vagina lubricates to prepare your body for sex. Because no lubrication equals friction equals pain. But the tricky part is the nerves can interfere with the arousal process and you and your partner can get aroused at different speeds. Guys are like microwaves and girls are like slow cookers, explains Stardown Smith, a health educator at Mount Sinai Adolescent Health Center in New York City. You can use your fingers to check and see if you're ready down there. If not, slow slow them down. If you're not wet enough, don't be too concerned. There's nothing wrong with you or your partner. You can always try using lube to make the D a lot more comfortable for both parties. Okay. Okay. Number 7. Not everyone bleeds. Like we mentioned earlier, it's likely that you will bleed during your first time when your tissue tears around your hymen. However, Planned Parenthood says it's also totally normal if you don't bleed. Okay. Number 8, your body will feel different. After you have sex, your vagina becomes more flexible and your vagina will get more used to penetration, which means sex will become more comfortable for you as time passes. Plus, your boobs will temporarily become firmer as the arousal will cause your blood vessels to dilate and your breast issues to swell up. Your nipples will also become more sensitive than normal. Why? Blood flow and muscular tension increase when you turn on, which makes your nipples become hard. Okay. Number 9, your virginity is not a gift. Perhaps the most confusing question you will ever face in your life. Am I ready to have sex? It's extra complicated when you are in a relationship or you know of a sort of kind of maybe relationship and start to feel like there are expectations on the other end. So just remember, you'll never owe anyone sex, no matter how nice they are or how much they spend on concert tickets or it's a whatever month anniversary or someone's birthday or anything else. Yes, we know you're looking for the heavenly sign that is time. But the truth is that sign won't come from anyone. It has to come from you. That is so cute. That is so true. Losing it takes a lot of planning. Or at least it should. We're not talking about lighting candles, queuing up a special sexy time playlist, and sprinkling a bed with rose petals. Nope, nope. See, with sex comes ginormous responsibility. Am I on birth control? Who's going to get condoms? And if I'm sleeping with a guy? And where can we find a private place and time to get it on? If you're seriously considering taking the next step, you gotta be ready to answer these cues and understand that sex can bring life-changing consequences like pregnancy or an STD that you'll have for the rest of your life. Plus, it's totally possible to get pregnant during the first time. So always be safe. Sex is not just a spontaneous magic like in the movies, but knowing you were adult enough to do it right and feel the way more special in the long run. Okay, let me just, okay. Okay, now the next thing to consider. Okay, and we also have another remark. Okay. If you're going to feel like a newbie, newbiest of noobs, And I don't know what that means. Let me see. Okay. And guess what? You should just embrace it because no one expects you to nail a brand new dance routine or stand up the first time surfing. The truth is, even if it's not your partner's first time, it's their first time with you. No doubt you're both feeling a little nervous. So rather than obsess silently, I'm doing this right. Is this good? Help. Be honest about your experience level up front and straight up ask what they like throughout. Whether it is your first time or 100th time, says Horatius. Okay. Now, the next thing to consider is you might think, this totally sucks. Beforehand, your brain was all fireworks worthy fantasies. In reality, though, sex that first time may not be more like, that's all? Really? Okay. And I see Kafia has a she stated that her first time it hurt. Okay. Okay. Uh, it hurt it. Okay. And it does happen. It does happen. In fact, you might want it to be over the second it starts. And that's 100% normal. Sex takes mentally as well as physically. Sex takes place mentally as well as physically, explains Smith. So you feel tense or scared, which most people do feel the first time. You can really enjoy experience. In addition, your hormonal changes might lead to emotional outbreaks post sex. Your emotions are at an all-time high after sex, so don't worry too much if you experience strange feelings, both negative and positive. When you grow more comfortable, however, you'll feel at ease both with the act itself and your partner. Another thing to consider afterwards, the relationship can get weirdish. Real talk. Losing your virginity can bring you and your bae closer, but no one really talks about how it can also test your bond in crazy ways. A late period, a questionable bump down there, it can get serious fast, and those uncertain can poke holes in the connection. So before you make the decision to hook up anytime, not just the first time, but always ask yourself, is our relationship strong enough to withstand the worst case scenario? Can I trust this girl, dude, to treat me with total respect afterward? This is a big decision, and you need the ultimate gut check. Also, don't kid yourself thinking sex will turn a casual hookup into a relationship. The only thing you can lead a relationship is deeply caring about each other, and that doesn't have anything to do when you lose your virginity. The next thing to consider, it may not be magical. Excuse me. Movies and TV shows create all kinds of ideas about what first time sex looks like. If you want candles and romance, you should make it known. But if you want just to get your first time behind you, that's okay too. As long as you are protecting yourself against NCDs and pregnancy, you can do it however it feels right to you. There is no right or wrong way to have sex for the first time. Okay? The next thing to consider, you can lose it again and again and again. Now that's an interesting concept. Let's hear what it says. Yes, that sounds impossible, but stick with us here. Because if you had sex once or twice and it's not the experience that you hope for, then you can take what you have learned about what you want and get and wait for it. Okay. Having sex once does not open the floodgates, says Golan. You always have the right to pull back and say no. In fact, being a born virgin can tolerate empowering. It gives you the chance to hold on to whatever is missing the first time, whether it was true love or was just a real bit. You deserve both. And right now, K-Fish, but my friends lie when it says it feels so good. Um, yeah. You know what? People can say whatever they wish on the subject, but the reality is everyone's experiences is going to be different. That's the reality. Okay. Now here's another thing to consider. Okay. You probably won't orgasm at the same time your partner does, if at all. Okay. Believe it or not, it's actually not common for multiple people to orgasm at the same time. The fantasy that movies and other media portray is not really so don't feel too bad if you don't orgasm your first time, because you may not be used to having sex. Is unlikely that it will happen to you. It does. And we have a guest. So before we let the guest in, I'm going to read the disclaimer. The views of the guests who appear on the channel are not necessarily those of the host nor the channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the consent of the host or the channel is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to the images of the channel. Some of the views which guests hold may be considered offensive to some viewers. Those who appear on the panel to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs will be removed from the panel and forever banned from Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. The host requests that no comment be made regarding internet service affected immediately. If you don't like the content, you can block the channel. And now we're going to bring in our guest. Good evening, Ramon.
Hello, good evening, sir. How you doing?
Oh, I'm okay. Okay. How was your day?
Today busy, laboring, trying to earn that living, like most of us. I mean,
It's
sometimes I feel for the I think that the ones that get to do it from home, I think they're actually fairly lucky. I mean, they don't have to leave home. It can get monotonous, I'm sure, but I do have to go out to allocations, so it gets me out of the house. So yeah. I mean, I saw a little bit. I saw a little bit of the interaction on the group chat. I mean, are you all right, Don Jose? I'm not gonna say anything about it, but just wanted to ask if you're okay.
I'm okay. I prefer not to discuss it here.
No, I won't.
Now,
I just wanted to ask you. No, we can stick to the subject. That's all right.
no, but going forward, what I'm gonna ask is that people refrain from making comments regarding the internet service. Look, we know that my internet service sucks. Okay, we know that. Okay, I have been dealing with it for 6 months.
Okay.
Believe me, I am fully aware. It's not like I'm like sitting down doing nothing. I have been dealing with optical cable for 6 months. In fact, there were the recipients of tonight's What the Heck of This Reward due to the fact that they have provided poor internet service.
Yeah. No, I'm sure. I'm sure they got you paying on all kinds of top dollar fees for the service, but the service itself might be subpar, and you deserve better. If you're gonna be paying top dollar for it, then you should be getting top dollar service. That's
Yeah,
just fair. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean, I will admit that I couldn't catch your live stream from the very beginning, but I do I did I did have to hit the link on the part when you mentioned something that somebody can claim to lose their virginity over and over again. That's a bunch of cat. No, Jose, that's a bunch of cat. There is no such thing.
Okay, but you know what? I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm just sharing an article that I came across to help to discuss the topic: how you lost your virginity.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, when it comes to when it comes to me, I do remember that very well. The experience. I don't want to get into the details of it. I'll just say that even though I knew a lot of the theory, when it comes to the when it came to the practice, I wasn't that good at it because it's one of those things that you get better with practice. You get better by doing it, and even though I did have an understanding, I was already what 20 years old when it happened with me.
Okay.
But when it came to the practice and technique and how to do this and that, really didn't know. I really know what I was doing. But I can just say that it got better from there. It got better from there. But because again, practice makes near perfect, if not all the way perfect. And you learn about technique. You have to learn about your partner, about the things that uh, kind of like learn the partner, the things that they like, those erogenous zones, the sensitive spots, what they like. Communication is very important. So
Yes.
those things are keys for the next experience to be better.
Okay. Now, what I did lay down some rules. Number one, no one is obligated to share their first time sexual experience if they find it to be too embarrassing. Okay, number one. Number two, let's try not to ridicule people too much if their first time sexual experience is not ideal. I mean, let's keep it 1,000. Uh, Not everyone, not most people, their first time is not ideal. It's going to
No,
be, it's going to, it's no, it's going to be iffy if that.
yeah.
So let's keep it clear. Now, what I'm
Uh,
going to do, I'm going to continue sharing this article, and then I'm going to be brave and I'm going to show you with the audience um, the circumstances how I lost my virginity.
Hey, one thing really quick before you do that, I see that there is someone called Iris Negron in the chat. Is she your relative?
She's my sister.
Oh, hello, Miss Iris. How you doing?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Yes. She does look after me. So I appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Okay. So let's continue with the next thing to consider. Virgins can still get STDs. Okay. Let's see how that's possible. According to Planned Parenthood, it's possible to get some STDs in non-sexual ways, like using IV drugs or passing it from mother to baby during childbirth. While most STDs can be passed through genital and genital contact, it can also be spread through unprotected oral sex. This means you can still be at risk if you have oral sex without using a condom, a dental dam, or other form of protection. Because of this, anyone involved may want to get tested just to be on the safe side. Okay. So what you thought about it?
No, well, that has nothing to do. What you just talked about, those are different means in which somebody can catch the kind of like the microbes or the virus that have to do with an STD like gonorrhea. I mean, you can get it's not only via sex that you can get the virus for gonorrhea because it is a virus that flows around in the bloodstream and it can settle anywhere. So
Oh,
yeah, I mean that's not something that should surprise. That's not something that should be considered to be out of the ordinary. It's just that
okay.
there might be more than one way for an STI to be transmitted. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to acknowledge the fact that Golden Dollars got us in the chat. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. Now, unless my memory fails me, Gigi, I think you're going to be doing a live stream tomorrow night around 9 o'clock. Um, if that's the case, I would say, if you can, please check out her channel. Okay. Now, let's bring up the next thing. It is now. This is something that you alluded to earlier. It's okay to communicate that's your first time as a virgin. You might feel pressure to know that you're doing what have a sex with first time. However, you wouldn't expect yourself to know how to drive a car if you've never done it before. So why feel that way when it comes to sex? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't. I thought it was tomorrow night. Okay. My apologies. Okay. But anyway, anyone is more than welcome to check out her content and subscribe if you have not done so. Okay. It's totally normal and okay to express that your first time with your partner. Once they are aware, they might even help you to take things slow to make things more comfortable. Okay. Sexual attraction doesn't always equate to emotional connection. A lot of people prefer to have sex for the first time with someone they love or care deeply about. But this isn't always the case. Sometimes there won't be an emotional connection with the people that you're physically attracted to. In the case of demisexuality, however, you might feel only sexual attraction with people feel you might feel only sexual attraction with people after establishing a romantic bond. It truly depends on the preferences of each person involved. And the last thing to consider, um, you shouldn't feel bad for still being a virgin. If you still haven't had sex for the first time, you shouldn't feel bad about it. Uh, Life isn't a race, and everyone's experiences are different. No matter your age, you should feel ready and comfortable enough to do things on your own terms, and there's no shame about that. Any observations, Ramon?
When you were saying about um, an emotional connection with somebody that one is having one is having sex with, are we talking about men or women? Because that works out differently depending on the gender that we're talking about. Because a man, let's be perfectly honest. Because women are more physical beings and we are visual beings, we can be turned on by somebody of the opposite gender if they are physically attractive enough. But that has nothing to do with our feelings. It has nothing to do with our emotions. A man can have sex for entertainment. It's gonna mean nothing when it comes to feelings or emotions. Now the connection can be there. The connection can happen if it is with somebody who with whom there has been some kind of some actual interaction, and there is more of an actual connection on the mental level. And when it comes to women have to be turned on via their minds, because they don't get turned on necessarily by what they see. Now, there are instances in which a woman she can she can have a good idea whether she's going to be having sex with the man when she meets him, if she finds him to be presentable enough. But he still has to say somewhat the right things, because she has to be turned on in her mind, because women are not visual creatures like that, men are. So men can disconnect. Men can disconnect their feelings and their emotions from the sex act. But with women, they usually are a little more involved when it comes to their feelings and their emotions. And that's why um they can be they can be more emotional about it, and that's why it doesn't work that well for them if they are too promiscuous. I mean, we're living in a time when women can do whatever they want, but if they're gonna be going from man to man to man, that can cause a damage emotionally and psychologically. So there are those differences. They're usually going from woman to a man. It's not really gonna affect him psychologically, as long as he's a grown man. If we're talking about a minor that is being abused, that's different, because that's gonna leave some real damage on a boy. But if he's an adult and he's being with a couple of different women, that shouldn't change who he is. I
Okay.
mean, it can get a little complicated, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Actually, it doesn't really state. Um, either way.
Hmm.
Um, okay, but the fact of the matter is, for the most part, women do view sex differently from men.
Yes.
Uh, Kfit, if you want to join the panel, the link is there.
Yes,
Um,
come on up. Come on up. Let's talk about this. Disagree with me. With us, should I say.
because one thing, the one thing that it's been a little bit of a disappointment is that the women, for whatever reason, they don't feel comfortable joining the panel, with the exception of a few brave ladies. And it's just that I understand that according to my analytics, more than
Yeah.
90% of the people who view my channel are men.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, ladies. No, nobody's stopping you from participating in these discussions and conversations. You can't say that somebody's holding you back or somebody's holding you down and keeping you from speaking your mind. Here we are. Here we are. There is a link there. You can hit up the link. Come on up. Speak your mind.
Yes. And also, I want to encourage anybody, if people disagree with what being said, you're more than welcome to come in and demonstrate where we screwed up, but with facts, please.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell us why we're wrong.
I mean, look, remember when we had the stream regarding the battle of the sexes? How many times I tried to encourage the ladies to join the panel? Okay,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
okay,
It's just apparently it's not being ratchet enough. All right.
yes.
that,
Good
that,
good evening, K-Fit.
Hey guys, how you doing? Good evening, Ramon. Good evening, Jose. How are you? Thanks for inviting me.
You're
hey,
welcome.
evening, Kay. How you doing?
I'm just trying to deal with the god awful heat.
What got off? No, don't start with that.
It
Kay,
wasn't that hot today.
K-Fit, what's the temperature over there right now?
Right now, it's probably like in the high 80s.
Uh,
Like,
that's
like I
not
said,
hot. That's
like I
not
said,
hot.
that's like I
Oh,
like I said, god awful.
that's not god awful. You should come down here and hang out with me. Temperatures are only 104.
Do you want me to
Oh
go to
hell
the
no, 104 is crazy.
do you
Not
want me to
wild.
go to the ER, Ramon?
You won't go to the ER. You're just gonna be sitting outside with that hot wind outside, and you'll be taking a drink or whatever drink, whatever it is that you want to drink, and you'll take a little bit of sun, and you'll be all right. I mean, sun is good for you.
Well, you know what? On the day that you come to New York in the wintertime in shorts and go to Times
No, no, I
Square.
can't do that. Can't do that. I already told you. I already told you. Hypothermia, bronchitis. It could kill me. No,
Okay.
no, no.
Okay.
Can't do it.
Okay. K-Fit, the topic for tonight is, how did you lose your virginity? Now, I know you did discuss this on your platform earlier this year. Um, Let me just make it perfectly clear. No one is obligated to share their experience, their first time experience, if they find it too embarrassing.
I got you. Definitely. I definitely had this stream on my platform, and hey, it wasn't great and golden like my little friend said it was. It was a whole freaking nightmare. It was nothing romantic. It wasn't worth it. I could have definitely waited. It was tragic. Like, I
Okay.
mean, I was mad I did it. I could have waited. I was highly disappointed.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, I'm going to share with the audience my first time experience. You're not going to believe where I actually did it the first time.
I think I heard you
I
already
think I
say that,
know.
but I'm not. I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
say it.
It was in a church trip.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh
And
boy,
church
boy,
supposed to
boy.
be for the good people. Look what y'all doing in church. See, that's why I ain't go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and the thing, crazy stuff happens at the church with the good old church peoples. you
Mm-hmm.
you just can never tell. You can
Half of
never
somebody
tell.
was in the church choir.
Oh boy,
Well, I
boy.
mean, okay. Well, the really, she. How could I say this without being it too vulgar and then having the good people of YouTube strike down this channel? She said she couldn't wait.
How old was she?
I think she was about 18.
Oh, she
Mm.
was experienced, so she knew what she was going to do to you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. She took advantage of you. Oh my.
And y'all was out some way far away where you couldn't call home. She planned it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She already knew what to do and where to go. I mean, in a church with so many people, you still managed to, to do your thing. Oh man, I don't know.
Where
I
were
don't
the
know.
deacons and the ministers
Yeah,
and the
the
church people
deacons,
watching y'all?
ministers, priests, pastors. Where were they?
Yeah, where was the congregation at when this was happening?
We were away from the congregation, so basically, I just put down a blanket on the grass, and next thing you know, we started to get busy.
Oh man, so you had her doing communion. I see.
So who
Uh,
taught you what to do, Jose? How did you know what to do at such a young age?
I hate to admit it. It's been so long ago. I do not remember. I mean, that was like what 42 years ago.
Hmm. Yeah, it's been a while.
So
Okay,
Hey,
that's a fair
hey.
one. That was a long time ago. That's fair.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
okay. So Ramon, do you care to share some details?
When it came when it came to my experience, oh man, I mean this was this woman that I had met at my job, and there was one night that she invited me over, and let's just say that we started fooling around. We had already fooled around a little bit of previous time, and we were talking like every day. And at one time, she invited me over to her place. We fooled around some more. One thing led to the other. We ended up taking care of business. Let's just say.
Yeah.
But when it comes to details, it was a little bit awkward. But I had to start somewhere. It wasn't terrible either because it happened again after that. I kept talking to the girl even though it wasn't so great the first time, but because it wasn't horrible, and she didn't completely dismiss me. We kept talking and we talked about it, and we did it again, and it was better, and we did it again, and it was better, and we did
Okay.
it again, and it kept getting better. That's what I was saying. That with practice makes perfect or damn near perfect. But
Okay.
communication is key. It's important.
Okay. Would you believe I just gained another subscriber tonight? I guess the sexy talk made it.
Well,
Oh.
I'm still in the sexy talk. I'm getting more subscribers too, but not in a huge jump. It's just one,
Mhm.
one. But it's all good though.
Well,
We
yeah.
love the sexy talk.
Okay. Well, we need to do more of that. Was that last live stream the whole polyamory thing? Did that get eyes on your stream?
Yeah, it got some eyes. It didn't get over 100 though, so I
Uh,
gotta do better somewhere.
Okay, but okay. Um, this has been my experience. Okay.
mhm.
what helps if you produce content on a regular basis. Okay, number one. And number two, try to get topics that's going to engage the public.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand.
Right.
So, but
Okay.
but in time, your channels will grow slowly. I mean, let's keep it real. Um, I'm still a tiny speck of a channel with 119 subs.
Well, I'm a molecule of a channel because I'm smaller than you. So I'm trying. I know that there are people that purchase subscriptions. I don't want to do that. I want to earn them. I wanted for it to for my channel to grow organically.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
how
know
I
that I
feel too.
haven't. Yeah, I know that I haven't been putting any work at it. I'm always trying to jump on everybody else's stream, but I'm not doing streams of my own. I have to get into it.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
but you know what it is. You have to be mindful, to the best of your ability,
Hmm.
when other people are going to do live streams. Like for example, our fellow friend Denise.
Yeah.
Um, she's back to doing her streams. So now she does it at Sundays at 8 o'clock, which used to be more or less Sunday night used to be my time. So what I had to do was to make changes. Uh, Also, doing these streams on Thursday night because Wednesday night that's when normally Denise goes on with a lot of explaining. Um, it can be a bit of a challenge making sure that you don't go on live at the same time another person in our sphere that does this. So I mean the key is you have to like
Hmm.
try to schedule it at a time when um not too many people are going to be on other than 3 o'clock in the morning because who's going to be watching at 3 o'clock in the morning except the slow taps.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not maybe because different people have different work schedules, and when they're off, then they can be up that late doing live streams. I mean, that's not for everybody. That's not what I would rather do. And I know that there are a couple of people that could do it, but it's just I don't know. Be up at 2 or 3 in the morning. Nah. I mean that messes up with my sleeping patterns because I do have to get up early to for because of my job. So
So
some
so
people
do
can do it. I can't.
yeah. Believe me, I do understand, and it does becomes a challenge at times. I mean, that's let's keep it real. Now, what I do is when I do plan to go live, there's at least 10 people that I'll send the link. And
Yeah.
what that does, at least I know at least some of them are going to join the stream live, or they go to watch it. They go to watch it on the playback, or they're going to join the panel.
Right.
So that's something. Okay, so that's something you know you might want to consider. I'm not saying you have to do this, but just something to consider.
Yeah, for sure. Like I definitely want to, also maintain like a personal life and like not be, overwhelmed with it and like let it take total control as well. So I've seen that the time frame is very important, like knowing the right time frame your slots fits into, or creating a time that works for you, or just knowing that time where people are most often surfing. So I've definitely seen that.
Yeah, I mean, look, and sometimes it could be a challenge, like because I happen to be um, actively supporting multiple channels. I mean, you two are only two of the channels that actually support. There's also like explaining. There's also the Radical Latino show. There's also the 18th letter. There's also Voltap whenever he does decide to post any material. There's also True Teacher. There's also Christina. So Moon Chaser Morena. Well, Morena, it's a bit of a challenge because I know that she does her streams early in the morning. That way, to not to conflict with other people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have to send her a message and ask her when is she gonna be doing another one, because she's all right. She's all right. It's just that she's somebody who can keep engagement, constantly expressing herself. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she's busy with other things, so understandably she can't be at it. Yeah,
Okay, I see that we lost our friend Kfit.
yeah. She might be back.
Yes. I just want to, if anybody else wishes to join the panel, by all means, do so.
Yeah.
If you choose, you can also enter a comment in the chat. It's not necessary, but I would appreciate if anyone wants to hit the cash app, which is
Hmm.
$ keep one NY, and make a donation, any size, any amount, um, will be deeply appreciated because I know for a fact inflation is hitting us like crazy, like like being in a god awful heat in the middle of summertime and what have you.
Okay,
And now,
80 something degrees is not god awful heat.
yes, it is. Now, if it was like say 65 degrees,
That's
that's
already no, that's already cold. One needs to get a jacket so one doesn't catch a cold.
no, that's summertime.
Nah, nah. So summertime is what we got over here. We got these warm temperatures of 105, 100 average 105, 108.
Oh, that's demonic heat.
Yeah, yeah, just a little warm breeze.
Well, in the winter, winter here, winter time in New York, we just get a little cool breezes. That's all.
Uh huh. Sure. No, but when it comes to the topic, not much else. It's just that you were saying something about somebody being a virgin multiple times. I mean, those are certain women that try to play that game, because I mean they have already been they have already been doing their thing, riding the rooster carousel, and then they want to become born again virgins, which is not a thing. That's not a thing. I mean,
Uh,
they hide behind the church to proclaim something like that.
well, you know something. You're more of a likelihood to become pope than someone to become a born again virgin.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That there is no such thing. But there are women that talk like that. I mean, they claim to have accepted the Lord, and then they become born again virgins, and they want to have requirements from them as if they were really virgins when they're really not. I mean, they have been run through. I mean,
Yeah,
that's game. That's a running game.
yeah. Well, remember our friend Moonchaser? He had made many remarks many times about how women should give up the box, so to speak.
Hmm.
So I'm surprised Moonchaser is not in the chat. I guess he's very busy.
Yeah. Well, he got his own things going on, so
Yeah, that's
maybe
true.
on the next one. Maybe on the next one
You know what? You know what? It's perfect. It's perfectly okay. I just want to let people know that. Oh, before I forget, I just want to let people know that if you have not done so, please subscribe to the Introvert Boricua. I know it's been a while since he produced any content, but he does have some interesting material that that you should take an opportunity to look at.
Yes, yes, I do have a couple of live streams on my channel. Also, when you check out the channel, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Check out the little bit of content that are there. Hit the like button. Make a comment, and if it's a reasonable comment, I'll give a response. I mean, ask a question or whatever. I look at the comments, and I look for the notifications. Also, hit the notification bell so that you get alerts from when I set up a live stream or a video. If there is something like that coming soon, you get the notification, so we can keep connecting and check out the material.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
But something. One thing that's not good is when you try to pressure someone to engage in intercourse when they're not ready.
Well, again, that's why communication is important. I mean, if there has already been somewhat of a relationship, if there has been somewhat of a connection, if there is some kind of a comfort when it comes to communicating, the two people should be able to talk about that subject, and nobody has to feel intimidated by it or pressured to it. It's just that one has to kind of like let it be. There could be a lot of physical attraction. I know the
Yeah,
feeling. I know how that goes, but it will be best. It is best as young men to still have the discipline to like just leave it alone. Let it happen when it has to.
yeah,
A little
that's
patience
true.
with them.
That
Yeah.
is so true. That is so true. And to be perfectly honest, nowadays there are not too many virgins left.
No, no. What I will say is that guys, young men, even if you like the girl and all of that, if she doesn't feel like doing anything and she knows that you are interested for there to for things to get physical, then all that you could do is kind of like pull back when it comes to the attention, because if she's getting all of your attention as a man and she's not reciprocating with the kind of attention that a man needs, then it's just better to cut back on the
Yeah,
attention. You don't have to be a jerk about it. Just well, okay, if it can happen, then I guess yeah, don't give explanations either. Just cut back. Don't give so much attention. Pull back. Make yourself scarce, and that should tell you as to where those she stands when it comes to you, when it comes to the man. I mean, because if a man is being thirsty and giving all this attention, not getting anything in return, then why should things change? Then she's not gonna do anything different.
yeah,
Don't chase. Don't chase. That's something that I had to learn a long time ago. As a man, don't chase that woman. Okay, have a rapport. Talk to her. Try to get to know her mind. Try to get the thirstiness out of the way. Because if a man is being thirsty, she's gonna know. She's gonna know. She's gonna be able to see it from afar. Once you're not thirsty anymore, the odds actually increase, because she's gonna be asking herself, why is he not thirsting for me? Because if she's fine, she's good looking and all of that, then she's used to have dudes being thirsty for her. Once you take that out of the equation, and as someone shows the discipline necessary to kind of like be a bit aloof and a little bit disconnected, still answer the text message or the phone. Be cool about it, but pull back. Don't shower a woman with attention that hasn't earned anything, that is not doing anything for a man. That will
yeah.
be that will be what I would say.
Would
And
that be the,
and if she's serious about it, then it's gonna end up happening. It's gonna come to that point where as a man, you are gonna be able, hey, come on, let's do this, let's make it
uh,
happen, and she
would
won't
that
be insulted by it. Uh-huh.
see, would that be the definition of a simp?
No. A simple be if the guy is constantly chasing, constantly showing attention, constantly doing things, just basically being the lapdog of the woman, the dolls are the simps. But when a man gets his gets his discipline up, and he's willing to say no to what she demands, because a lot of there are many women, especially young, that are really pretty. There are many of them that are spoiled because everybody says yes to them. The moment as a man says no to them to something and stands firm on it, that makes a world of a difference. Things
Yeah,
change. The behaviors should change, or she would rather not deal with a man like that who is disciplined and she can't control. But either one of those things, it's good. Either she's gonna comply to what is being requested of her, or she's gonna leave the man alone. It's a win-win.
yeah. I think the bottom line is that um, people need to be honest and as far as the expectations, but yet at the same time, the last thing you want to do is try to cajole or embarrass someone just because you may be in the mood, but the other person is not.
You know what? Again, it's the whole thing with the attention, because a lot of the time, what you just described, that's usually the women that don't want to be in the mood, because most of the time men are in the mood. Men are ready. Men are in the mood. We are physical beings. We have all this testosterone flowing inside us, so we're ready. We're usually ready. We're usually ready to go. But a lot of the time, it's the woman that doesn't want to do anything. When the woman doesn't want to do anything, again, the man has to be disciplined enough to get up and walk away. Don't give the
Yeah,
woman attention if she's not meeting the needs of a man, whether she can't or she won't do it. And as a man, don't meet her needs, because as a man, you're giving her all the attention that she wants. Why should she do anything for you? That's the little game that they play. I mean, she's not
yeah,
willing to do anything. Get up and get away from her. Even if they're living together, get out of the room. Get out of
yeah,
the room. I mean, be willing to sleep in a different room, separated from her. Don't share the bed. Don't share the bed. See what happens.
yeah. That is, you know what? That is very true. That is
Yeah.
very
So yeah, you know how it goes, Don Jose. I mean, you're gonna be with your lady. She doesn't wanna be in the mood. She doesn't feel in the mood. Don't
then
share the
it's
bed
then
then.
you know what? Then it's gonna be a no.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a no, and we're just gonna keep it moving.
Yes.
There'll be another time.
Yeah.
There'll be another time. That, I mean, as long, the fact of the matter is this: as long as there's mutual respect, there's always going to be another time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but don't let yourself be played, because we all hear about these stories where there are these guys that they are married and all, but they haven't been intimate with their wife in months. But that's because they make the mistake. They make the mistake of still sharing the bed and still giving her the attention that she wants. Once the man cuts back on the attention that he's giving the woman, usually that makes the woman change, because she needs the attention. She needs the attention bad. So
Yeah.
that's what I would recommend.
Okay. Well, we're soon going to be ending season 3, and
Hmm.
actually, this Tuesday we'll begin season 4 of Uncommon
All right.
Sense. And actually, the topic is going to be how you define middle age.
Okay. I know that I have seen you and Denise argue about that one, but no, I mean,
But you know what?
commonly middle age is perceived as being sometime after the age of 50. So,
But you know what? What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving facts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up material and I'm going to share the material so people will understand that this is not a Jose thing. This is actual
uh,
fact.
all right,
And how
all
people interpret it, that's up to their discretion.
all right, yeah,
Okay.
know your
And
thing.
and you know, it's not going to be the first time that we disagree. I mean, we have disagreeing. I don't know how many times. I mean, I think if I got $1 for for every time that we have disagreed, I think I'll be making a little. I would have made a little money. I
Yeah,
mean, that's how it is. But um, the fact of the matter is, I have not been happy with the internet service, and I actually saw heard the audio. It's like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can edit it, or else what I might do is put it in private because I'm sorry. At some points, the audio has been horrible. I'm not gonna lie.
mm, I see, I see. And I will try and invest in a microphone setup, so we can hear you clearly. I mean, it's not too expensive. I'm not talking about those
Oh,
podcast microphones that cost hundreds of dollars. So yeah,
okay.
there are more
No,
affordable options.
well, so I plan to have a supervisor to come in. They might have to change the modem that I have.
Ah. No. I know. You don't want to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what?
You don't want to talk about the connection, but still, if you're being charged like top dollar for internet connection, the it should be quality. It should be a quality connection. It shouldn't be something that you have to wrestle with.
Yeah, because that's unfortunately, I mean, and it can be very frustrating when you're trying to produce a quality content and then
Oh, there is another content creator that I try to tell her the same thing because I like what she does, and she's very raw with it, but very direct and makes a lot of sense. But I keep sending her DMs, telling her, "Look, okay, do something about your setup. Do something about your mic. You sound choppy. You sound garbled. I'm trying to understand what you're saying, but it's giving me a headache because of all the static, garbled, choppy." It sounds a mess, but she doesn't do it. I mean, this is somebody who's supposed to have a lot of money, but they keep doing StreamYard from their phone because that's all they have. So yeah.
okay.
By the same token, I mean, try to have the best setup possible so people can understand you well, so you don't have interference and you don't have technical issues. I mean, or if there is something with your connection, genuine something about your connection, then it should be just the right thing for them to give you the quality service so you can have a quality connection, so you can have a quality live stream. It's what's fair.
Yeah, you know what, I do agree.
Yeah.
Um, you know, like I said, it's been a challenge. But when I think season about this season, I find it amazing that I virtually double the number of subs that I had going into the beginning of May. And I just want to say thank you very much for all the people who has seen fit to support this channel. I thank you all for your patience when dealing with all my technical difficulties and whatnot. I even thank the trolls.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The trolls, the trolls are really something. I mean, use them to your advantage. That's what kind of like what I was mentioning to you on your previous live stream when it comes to the trolls. Let them work for you. Let them. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get overly offended because that's them trying to hit on your emotions. Whatever. If, let them let them troll us as long as they don't get over the board, over the edge, and they don't get too disrespectful about it. Then it's perfectly fine. Let them
Yeah.
talk their smack.
Yeah, I agree. Is
Yeah.
there anything else that you'd like to share regarding the topic?
Yeah. Well, I mentioned about my first experience, but somebody were to lose their virginity, first you have to make sure that it doesn't violate anything when it comes to your personal beliefs. If you are a religious person and maybe you think that it's not such a good idea to do that, well, okay, but try to be an adult, try to be informed, try to maybe talk to somebody, get some education when it comes to the subject, because it's very important. It's very important that at least you have some working knowledge as to how that works when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to the act itself, because it is a wonderful thing if done correctly and responsibly, taking precautions, protections, and so on. So there is nothing wrong with consulting, asking somebody about it, somebody preferably who is in education, or a health professional, somebody that can point you at least in the right direction if that's something that you're thinking of. Um, but yeah. Aside from that, okay, the first time it's not, it may not be that great, but with communication and practice, taking full advantage of other opportunities, one can get better at it. So it's not the end of it all if it's not the best at the first time.
Yeah, but you know what? I think the key is um, don't don't go overboard with your expectations. Okay, because that could be a big problem. And I see here we have the presence of Inquisidor. Saludos. ¿Cómo está usted? Me alegro que está compartiendo con nosotros aquí, allí en el chat.
Inquisidor, Trabajo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but aside from that, not much else. Not much else aside from saying, "Hey, Don Jose, I appreciate you letting me on your panel." I was thinking about it. I didn't want to get on this one, but when you mentioned about the multiple virgin, the multiple times that one person supposedly can be a virgin, that's when I had to. Okay, I have to say something about that because that's a bunch of cap. So that's
Okay.
that's what I wanted to say about that. And aside from that, thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, Ramon, I'm gonna put you in the backstage, and
Mhm.
we have a comment from Inquisidor which says, "Sí, de nada, de nada, estar en su propia casa, Inquisidor." Uh,
Yeah,
so,
cuídate, papá. Mhm.
yeah, so en este momento está terminando el stream, pero habrá otras oportunidades que puede compartir su punto de vista y si no están de acuerdo que nosotros estamos diciendo, tendrán la oportunidad para subir el panel para decir el por qué creen que estamos equivocados. So what I'm going to do, Ramon, is I'm going to put you in the backstage, and hopefully you'll be able to stay so we can chew the fat a little bit.
Sure thing, sure thing. Thanks for having me.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now I'm going to give you my final words. The fact of the matter is, when it comes to virginity, there are many different concepts, okay? Of course, there is the Christian concept, which means that you don't engage until you've been married. But we're living in a day where we have multiple philosophies and what have you. So the point of the matter is just to be mindful as far as if you're going to engage in that type of activity, just be mindful. Abstinence is always better, but we're living in an age where not everyone believes in that. So I just want to thank everybody who put their comments in the chat. The 18 Leather, Gigi, K-Fit, Inquisidor, Ramon, and everybody else. So I'm probably going to do a stream either tomorrow or Saturday just to give you my observations. Now, on Sunday, what I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to have it's going to be kind of an open panel discussion regarding just wrapping up season 3 of Uncommon Sense and just making the preparation for season 4. And again, as always, I thank everybody who has seen fit to allow me to enter into your platform, into your devices, to share what little knowledge that I have acquired. So I do appreciate it, and I just want to say that I'm deeply touched by all the love that all of you has given me. So that being said, I'm going to close the same way that I always close. Do not let the errors of the past damage your future, and we must do everything possible. Oh, let me just put the comma. Excuse me. Okay. What I'll do is I'll put the comment, the link in the chat. Should anyone wish to? Ooh, excuse me. Okay, that's okay. Should anyone wishes to join us in the backstage? So, as I was saying, do not let the errors of the past. Okay, excuse me. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay. Do not let the errors of the past damage your future. And we must do everything possible to minimize our contact with the mentally and intellectually challenged, or else we will be infected by, by their stupidity, or massive insanity. So just give me a moment. Okay. 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 Just bear with me. This is what I was referring to. Okay. There. So that being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, and I wish everyone a pleasant good night. Take care. Peace off.
Be strong. Be strong.